The main teaching tool that teachers are familiar with is PowerPoint. We've used PowerPoints for a long time now. Most people are quite comfortable with making them, and they can produce some quite interesting ones. How are we going to get a PowerPoint to our mobile devices? Well, we're going to use two methods. One method, we could just upload them to zamzar.com and it will convert that for us. But another method that I prefer is to use a free conversion program that's being supplied by iSpring. I'm just going to open up a PowerPoint here. We'll have a look at this. This is a PowerPoint that I've put little hotspots in because I like to make my PowerPoints kind of interactive. If we were just going to have a PowerPoint that was going to be a linear presentation, that's fairly standard. We can let people move their way through. But in this case, I've got hotspots where I'm wanting some interaction. So they actually have to click on the screen using the mouse or a touch key or something like that to be able to find things. So for example, in this picture, they're going to find the record button. Now, let me just demonstrate that one. So we'll just run this as a window so we can see it without it going full screen. Here we go. So in this particular situation, I've got to find the record button. So I click up the top here. I've got it right and it's moved on, and it's now saying to find the play button. And if I click somewhere else, it gives me an indication that I'm wrong. I click on the play button here and I move on to the next one. So it's a short, small, interactive PowerPoint. Let me just get out of that now. Now, to produce this as something that can be used on our tablets, our mobile devices that students can interact with, that would be quite helpful. So that gives us a chance of taking branching and interactive PowerPoints and having them being used on those mobile devices. So I'm going to go to iSpring Free. Now, there's two versions that you might find out there. Hopefully you'll only find the iSpring Free 7, which is the one we need. Now, I've got a full version of iSpring here that I've purchased, but we're just going to look at the free version to be able to get the publishing that comes with the free version. So I'm going to click here on Publish, and it will offer me a mobile HTML5. I don't need the desktop flash, which is what the iSpring 5 was going to be giving me. Sorry, iSpring 6. This iSpring 7 version is giving me the HTML5 mobile version. That's all I want, so I make sure that's ticked. It's picked up the title from my presentation, and it's going to put it into my documents into a presentation folder, all of which is fine. And I'm going to click on Publish. There is one there already called Hotspot, so I'm just going to overwrite that one. It's going to go through, and there are 7 slides altogether. It processes those quite quickly, and then it will open up a version of the document and the folder where it actually put it in, which is quite helpful. So let's just come into the actual document. You can see it here. Click on my first page and I'm ready to begin. I've got some navigation buttons down the bottom. There's a link to iSpring where people can get the program itself, but if they're working with offdanet, then they don't get onto the internet. So if I click on the correct button, it's moved on. It's giving me the sound effect. If I haven't, it's given me the other sound effect. Okay, so it appears to be working correctly. I'm just going to close that. Now, we can get rid of our PowerPoint now. I'm not going to save it. What we need to do is we want to put this into button 6. I've got nothing in button 6 at the moment. So let's go and bring up button 6. On button 3 here, we'll go into button 6. It's just got this placeholder. So let's go and move this across a little bit. We're going to drag those two into my button 6. We're going to replace the placeholder. It should be sitting in there now and ready to go. When I come to button 6 now, I'll have to press refresh because I've just been in there, and it'll bring up my PowerPoint. And here it is, and it's ready to go. And I can be clicking on it, working with it. Okay, so find the play button, it'll come in there. So, very simple system. It works quite nicely. I just need to give it a moment for it to get the resolution back up. So that will be presented to us on our mobile devices. Actually, what's happening in there is I've got the page zoomed down, which is why it doesn't look quite as nice as it could. So I was trying to make sure my screen was going to fit on. So as long as it's zoomed to the correct level, it should be okay. So to get our PowerPoint into our device, we're going to use this iSpring converter. Now, when you download iSpring converter, it'll turn up and install itself as a plugin across the top, so you end up with an extra tab. I've got quite a few different tabs across the top there from different devices that I've added into PowerPoint. The iSpring free one is well worth having. It gives you a number of different things that you can work with, so I recommend you go and have a look at that. And certainly as a way of easily producing material from a PowerPoint, this is, for me, the best and easiest way. It generates an index.html file and a data folder, and we're just going to drag and drop those into our button, and nothing could really be simpler than that.